An associate of mine called me this evening and he was sharing with me that his business was literally wiped out for the rest of the year because of COVID-19. And being the entrepreneur that he started sharing with me his new idea about creating an online course. And then he went on to ask me if I think his idea would work. And so I shared with him and we had this conversation about, it doesn't matter whether I think the idea would work. What really matters is we got to do a few research and we got to look at some data. So we talked about, looking at search volume, looking at what the competition is offering, how much are they how much are they selling it for, are people buying it, what are some of the reviews, all that good stuff. And then we went on to talk about how we could execute his idea. And so I was sharing with him that he should go out and look for 4 or 5 people and then ask them for money. In other words, to pre-sell his online course. And even only if this 4 or 5, he is able to look for this 4 or 5 people who are willing to pay him for this online course, then, only then, should he start building that course. And he was asking me a lot of questions, and you can hear in his voice that he's really uncomfortable with the whole idea. And I know exactly how he felt because that was exactly where I was in 2013. I mean, I hear all these gurus talked about, you just look for a group of people, ask them what they want and give it to them. That is how the internet works. And at the point in time, I just couldn't wrap my head around it because the way that I've been doing business at that point in time was you create a product, and after you've created that product, you then go out and look for customers. But then I realized that in the age of the internet and with all this technology available to us, doing that is akin to making a key and then going all over the world to see if this key will unlock any door. And that's crazy, right? Because you might even die trying. And so when I shared with him this idea, he was struggling to come to terms with it. But the truth of the matter is, in today's context especially, we are running low on resources and we want to be able to find out what is the fastest way that is able to help us generate revenue. And to be able to do that is in a repeatable and preferably scalable process, right? As I mentioned 2 videos ago. So to look for that one thing, and then that one thing should be the easiest, simplest, smallest task to do that is repeatable, that's able to bring us revenue. And once we are able to validate and to know that that works, and then that's where we are able to repeat that and as well as scale that. But I understand where he's coming from because he has been working in the offline space for the longest time, being in the training industry. But what about you? Is this a concept that you struggle with? And if you're struggling with that, how are you dealing with it? Because currently for me, I'm working on the model of building a community and building that level of trust with that community, delivering results for them, with them, and then show them how it's like to work with me. And so if you like more details about this project that we're working on, it's called Teach to Sell, drop me a DM and I'll be more than glad to share with you more about what it is. But if not, no worries, we're cool, right? So let me know.